Welcome back to Story Time. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Where we last left off, the team was told to lay low on Mars by Firewall. They set their sights on the larger city, New Pittsburgh, and got to work looking for a new job. The kid ended up getting in contact with a local gang known as the 14K Triads. However, they don't really like him, or MLG. Either way, they still needed work done. The job in question was to acquire a box from a local science lab and deliver it to them. However, the gang was having a hard time locating the science lab, which is where we came in. They at least managed to narrow it down to a district, which was New Shanghai. With that little bit of information they were given, they set out, grabbed a couple pieces of equipment, the kid made a couple of things, and they were ready to start the mission, and we'll pick up from there. Joanna concluded her shopping trip and returned to the ship just around the time when the kid finished programming the simulation for Galva. The group dressed a little bit more casually, leaving a bunch of the armor and their weapons back on the ship, just so that they could give off the look of tourists just wandering throughout the city, and we set out for New Shanghai. As I said earlier in the video, and in the last video, we didn't have a lot of information to go off of, so we kind of just wandered aimlessly through New Shanghai and hoped for the best. Luckily, one of us rolled really good for investigation, and we ended up stumbling upon a place that had a large barbed wire gate around the entire exterior of it, and there were armed guards out front of the building. So that appeared to be exactly what we were looking for. So we decided to pretend to wander around looking like we were lost as we eyed the building every time we passed it, trying to get a better look at what we were getting ourselves into. And after some close examination, we noticed, one, the fence was electric, and two, they had a bunch of cameras around the exterior of the building, and there was a couple on the surrounding buildings. Instead of acting immediately, we decided to go with the next night so that we have some more time to plan. The plans were all over the freaking place. Oh my god. They ranged from just running in, guns a-blazing and hoping for the best, to jumping off the freeway that was over top of the building and kind of just crashing through the ceiling. If you haven't noticed yet, we're terrible at plans. Even when we plan, like, you know, and think we have a good plan, it usually ends up actually being terrible. We just didn't realize it until we started doing it. But we decided to do a little bit of research. I ended up hacking into the city and getting my hands on some blueprints for that building. From the blueprints, we actually ended up finding out that the bottom floor was some random business that we couldn't figure out. And the top floor of the building we were inspecting was actually where the science lab was. So armed with slightly more information than before, we hacked a better plan that wasn't going to get us killed. The plan we ended up deciding on was the kid was going to wirelessly hack into the building through the mesh and try to overload the power grid on that block so that he could knock all the power out in that area. The others would then cause some sort of distraction or commotion to get the guards to get away from the building. He'd sneak in, go in, grab the box, out, done. Pretty solid plan. So we tried to monitor the building here and there all the way up until the night of. Nightfall comes, and then we head out. We are more heavily armed this time. We're just trying to stay out of sight as we're going to do what we're going to do. We finally get near the building, and the kid tries to hack it. And the one thing that we did not check before we left is this place hooked up wirelessly to the mesh. So now we're just kind of in a dark alleyway, just chilling, trying to think of a new plan on the fly. Maybe we can just cause a diversion and one of us can sneak in and try and go grab shit. And as if on cue, somebody comes through the front gates of the building we have eyes on with boxes in hands, and it's a synthmorph. Oh, I got a diversion for you. And without skipping a beat, the kid lets out his injectors and tells them to attack the synthmorph. So this more happy-looking synthmorph's just walking down the street, mind his own business, some boxes in hand. When searing pain just starts to rack his body, he starts lighting on fire all across his body as he's attacked by a nanoswarm. My DM rolls for him, and he barely survives. So he falls to the ground, all the boxes spilling out of his hands, and a bunch of canned foods roll out of it. He's on the ground, can't move, and he just starts screaming. He's like, help! 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 Bam, distraction. the kid says as he runs off full tilt down the street to the next alleyway, as the two guards guarding the gate go to check on their friends. The second he sees his opening, he goes full sprint to get across to the gate. I failed the fuck out of my stealth roll, by the way. As he runs through the open gate, he sets his backpack to put the arms out so he can climb up the side of the wall. Fail the fuck out of the climbing check. Fucking mint. Guard notices you run into the gated area and fall off the wall. Fucking mint. Guard promptly knocks you unconscious with the butt of his gun. Fucking mint. The guard then just drags my unconscious body out of the gate and just throws me into the dirt. Back with the rest of the team, the other guard who hadn't noticed me run through the gate, along with several people in the surrounding houses around the building, were helping the synthmorph to his feet, asking him if it was okay, if he knew what happened, and my team was right there along with them, trying to pretty much brown nose their way through the gate, and it worked like a fucking charm. They walked with them back down the road, stepped over my unconscious body. Hey, like, are you guys with him? Like, he tried to run through the gate, like, after that happened. Nope, never seen him in my life. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Does this happen often to you guys? They help the guards get the synthmorph inside into their infirmary part of their building, and after a couple more questions, we finally find out what the business under the lab is. They are an organization known as Axis Cross. They're essentially Space Red Cross. So, you know, they're doing good things, giving food to the less fortunate people in the area, hence why the synthmorph had a box full of canned goods, giving people healthcare products that they normally wouldn't be able to afford. You know, good people. So while this lovely conversation is going on, the kid finally comes to, face down in the dirt. He slowly gets up, dusting himself off. He turns around, looks past the guard that's still at the front gate, and sees his team inside having a conversation.
There's been just a small misunderstanding. Yeah, my team's right there. Like, I can just go right in.
Not after that stunt. That's the farthest you're going.
But my team, we kind of have a thing we have to do here.
I don't care.
Now turn around and go home, tiny man, before you catch another wallop.
Now, the kid had two options. He could handle this like a civilized person. Sit out here patiently, or go back to the ship and just wait for his team to be done. Or he can do what got him the name King Petty to begin with.
Sorry for the disturbance. You have a nice night.
So while the team's inside getting more information about Axis Cross, finding out that this is actually a pretty common occurrence, and they get attacked constantly because nobody really wants them to help people for free, I, on the other hand, messaged my DM and told him I'm going back to the ship, grabbing my sniper rifle and setting up on the roof across the road. The rest of the team ends up continuing their conversation with Axis Cross, and Joanna actually ends up scoring a temporary job with them. They ask a couple more questions about their upstairs neighbors, and we find out, just as we suspected, it's the science lab. They don't really get involved with them. They even said that they have armed guards up at the stairs who never help with the situations they have. They are specifically for protecting the science lab. And that's all the information that they get from them, other than they're very tight on their security and they have like a full checkup list of who's allowed in and out of the building, blah, 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 blah. And that they were actually hiring an accountant. Good and helpful information. About the time when they find out this information, the kid is set up on the roof across the street. I had to make a couple of climbing checks to get up the building, to get up the fire escape. I passed them with flying colors, no problems whatsoever. My DM messages me back, the guard that knocked you out and was talking shit is not outside currently, he's inside. And I simply respond, oh, I'll wait. And just so happens the guy starts chatting up this guard as he's about to head back outside. He's asking the guy about his life, how he got into this line of work, blah, blah, blah. And he just sounds like an all-around nice guy. He just wants what's best for the community. And like, people who just keep coming in here and causing problems like this are just not helping anything. They end up carrying on the conversation outside because the guard has to get back to his post as I take my shot. And I fucking missed. However, this guy was just destined to die, or just has absolutely cosmic bad luck. because he rolls against me shooting at him and crit fails and walks directly into the bullet. And his fucking head explodes all over the guy. Next episode will be out on Monday. As always, you guys can follow me on Twitter at JarOfWizard and on Tumblr at the exact same handle. If you're enjoying the content, go ahead and drop a like, maybe comment, maybe even subscribe, maybe even share it with somebody that you know who also works with Red Cross. Actually, don't do that. They might get mad. I don't know. You beautiful people have a nice day. Bye.